Yeah, really quick on this past trip, and Ponce, I'll pause so that you can, interpret for Carlos as we go here. But on this last trip, as you guys know, I ended up having pneumonia while I was
Oh my
down there.
goodness. Mm,
Uh,
Oh, Carlos dice que en este viaje que fue Jesse, regresando, que pues ya lo viste, que se agarró de los pulmones, era neumonía.
And then I had some other things going on, and I felt so bad and tired. I was thinking about sending the whole team home and just staying at the house of blessing and laying in the bed.
Dice que se sintió muy malo, ya sabes, y él pensaba, los voy a mandar a todos ya para los Estados Unidos y aquí me voy a quedar yo con Carlos para que me sane.
I've never thought of doing that before, but it seemed a lot better than trying to go through the airport.
Dice, nunca había hecho eso, pero dije, es mejor quedarme aquí con Carlos que ir al aeropuerto.
But thank you for the prayer, Dr. Sanchez. And I don't feel like I've done a very good job being able to lead just because it's been a struggle just to go to work every day. But I know the Lord will, uh, He is, and He will lift me up, and
Yeah.
we'll find
Yeah.
out whatever's going on. He'll help me.
Amen. Ajá. Ujú. Dice que se siente que se siente humilde pensar que pues a veces es el líder y no se siente como uno porque está trabajando, hace muchas cosas, pero con la ayuda de Dios vamos a salir adelante y tiene una cita el miércoles con el doctor y primero Dios todo salga bien. Amén.
Well, you guys saw the agenda, and so I just have one main point that I'm going to talk about, and that's for us working, together to really have a concerted effort to try to build our foundation,
Ujú.
uh, for both the prayer and the giving for this work. And Rod had presented an idea, and I thought it was a great idea. He suggested that each board member, um, pray and try to enlist 26 partners in 26.
Mm.
And so, and the idea is, we've had a few partners who were large donors now and then, able to
Mhm.
give a substantial amount. But the reality is that we can't rely upon those. And it's a lot more sustainable to build partners that give however much, but smaller, but however much they can give monthly, recurring. And I see Yvonne smiling, shaking her head, and many of you have participated in other things like Compassion International or different ministries, right? Where you give a smaller amount monthly, right? And it's recurring because it's sustainable and it's recurring and you can count on it. Ponce, if you want to share
Sí.
that.
Ujú, sí. El hermano Jesse dice que quiere que nosotros trabajemos juntos, que estemos unidos para hacer una fundación, orando y a ver cómo podemos, agarrar más donaciones. El hermano Ro tiene una idea, dice que cada miembro de nuestra junta, que a ver si podemos nosotros conseguir 26 donadores en este año del 2026. Porque no podemos esperar que los que dieron en el pasado sigan dando siempre y solamente son ellos los que dan. Lo que queremos es que la gente dé menos, pero que dé cada mes. Así es algo que se sostiene y es lo que queremos, lo que va a ser nuestra visión es ir a buscar gente que pueda dar mensual en vez de nada más una vez.
And the other thing that we were talking about is working on, how to present to those that we share with. And
Ujú,
so, it's wise and it's smart to work on a few scripts because it helps you just remember and present, right? That way when you go to share, you don't lose your train of thought or get off point. Just having and we can work at having a basic or a few basic scripts that we all have. Of course, you could develop your own. And even with the basic script, you personalize it and add your own stories or things. And as as you're speaking, you know how it goes. The Lord will give you the words to say and share with people and how to interest them and engage them. And so, for instance, I have a relationship with one of the guys at work that I was sharing with Rod. I've been getting to know him over the past couple years, and I'm just about at the point. Well, one thing I did was when I came home, I gave him a beautiful Christmas table runner from Antigua to him and his wife, and it's amazing what a simple gift will do just to open up someone's heart, give you an opportunity to speak, but also they put it in their home and it's something that reminds them, right? It's a touch point, touchstone. And I'm about at the point where I'm going to engage him and see if he would be interested. And, and also he's a person who believes in the Lord, but is not engaged in a church. And I think it'd be a wonderful way to draw him. People are looking for reality. They don't want anything, they don't want a sales pitch or something phony. They want something real. And this is something real that we can offer them. And it's a way to draw them closer to God personally and their family as they
Mm.
participate. So it's something for you to think about as we talk to people. It's a way to connect them to God as they give to others.
Dice la segunda cosa que quiere platicar Jesse es que quiere presentar cómo podemos nosotros presentar el mensaje de nuestro ministerio con otros. Dice, es algo que necesitamos sabiduría y han hecho unas, ¿cómo se dice? Un
Ujú.
guiones para, para que podamos explicar el sistema o lo que hacemos. Y claro, cada uno puede hacerlo personal, pero teniendo unos guiones para que nos ayude. Dice, yo sé que tiene un amigo que con el trabaja y le trajo una vez un regalo de Guatemala y ellos lo pusieron en su casa y cada vez que es para su mesa y cada vez que entra a su casa, pues ahí está el regalo de Guatemala y se recuerda de ese regalo, pero nunca le ha pedido, ahora anda tratando de ver si puede o cómo puede presentar, pues que si nos ayuda mensual. Y eso es lo que es la batalla que tenemos ahorita, cómo presentar el mensaje de lo que hacemos para que tengamos gente que pueda dar mensual.
And it was interesting at church. One of the guys came up to me and told me that he wanted to start giving to G4N
Mm.
and how he could do it. And I hadn't even asked anyone yet. So I told him about the 26 and 26. I said, cool. I go, you could be my first one.
Oh, good.
So
Good.
the Lord kind of just encouraged me by bringing someone to, excuse me, talk to me. And so the Lord knows how to encourage us, to go out. And it shows you that people, I think I share that because it shows that people are thinking about it. And sometimes they're waiting, right? They're waiting for that little nudge that they don't even know. And as soon as you come and ask them how often, they were like, I was thinking about that. And or they're almost waiting, like, were you going to ask me? I know you've gone to Guatemala for 10 years. When were you going to ask me, right? And so be encouraged. And so put together a list, pray over that list, ask God to guide you specifically to the right people, right? And just tell them the other point I wanted to bring, that Rod and I had mentioned. We want to make the barrier to entry very low. So we want to suggest that they give whatever they're able to, but that no gift is too small. And
Mhm.
so if they could afford even $10 a month over the course of the year, that's $120. And what that equates to, that's 120 children hearing the gospel throughout the year. And Rod had shared that he has a friend who's on a fixed income living in a trailer park on Social Security. He had known from many years ago. And that gentleman told Rod, I could do that.
Mm.
And
Good.
it makes people very happy that there's no barrier. So no gift is too little, and then of course we don't limit it. We just tell them you can give as much as you like, but hey, there's no gift too little. No one's gonna scoff at $10 a month.
Ujú.
It all adds together and it builds God's kingdom. And so remind them of the widow and the widow's mite, right?
Ujú.
Mhm.
And Jesus recognized and saw what she gave and called attention to her gift, right?
Pues el hermano Jesse que este domingo en la iglesia, un hermano vino y le preguntó a Jesse que él quiere dar, que cómo puede dar, y Jesse pues le dio la información de de dónde dar pues, del website, pero dice, es algo que yo ni he empezado a platicar de eso y ya alguien vino y me preguntó, dice, Dios está abriendo puertas antes de que empiece a platicar de esto. Dice, esta persona que va a empezar a dar es mi primera de 26, ya está contando. Y dice que hagamos una lista de gente que tal vez piensemos que quiera dar o que nosotros podemos platicar con ellos y hay que orar por esta lista y Dios nos va a ayudar con con el guión para hablar con ellos. Dice que am, una meta o decir que cualquier cantidad no es poco. Lo que queremos hacer es que con $10 que den por mes son 120 por año. Y eso puede ayudar a 120 niños porque $1 por niño. Dice, y solamente es una persona. Y ahí la meta es agarrar pues bastante mucha gente para que se multiplique eso. Dice que el hermano Rod conoce a alguien que está retirado y pues nada más llega lo que le llegue pues del retiro. Pero cuando Rod le dijo de los $10 por mes, él dijo, yo puedo con eso, esa cantidad sí se puede. So, lo que queremos es que no queremos presionar a alguien que dé. Si quieren dar algo más, pues claro que claramente. Pero si quieren dar poco, tampoco no hay que rechazarlos.
Mhm. Got
Okay, so add it to your daily and your regular prayers for yourself and one another. Um, that the Lord will send us and give us favor and speak to the right people and give us favor and grace to reach people and through friendships and find donors that are hearts are willing and they're looking for an opportunity. And the Lord said, pray to the Lord of the harvest, right, for more workers.
Ujú.
And I would say he wouldn't be adverse to more donors, more prayer partners, more participants. That's all workers in the harvest. Whether we're giving, going, or praying, that's all working, right? That's being a worker in the harvest. And so just let's encourage one another. And even when
it.
you secure a donor, share it with the group as an encouragement. That way we can see God answering the prayers and moving in our midst.
Dice que hay que orar, que Dios nos mande gente para, para que podamos platicar de esto y para que den donaciones. Así vamos a empezar, pero todo tiene que ser primero con oración y empezar y seguir en eso. Poner a Cristo primero.
All right, very good. Okay, well, that's pretty much all I have to share on that, guys. let's go ahead. We'll go to Ponce and you can share what you have for us, brother.
Sure. Okay, let me share my screen here. Okay, so this is our website, G4 Nations, and this is our give. Let me. This is the desktop, but the thing is that something like 67% of all people do everything on their mobile phone nowadays. If someone's on their
Mm-hmm.
desktop, this is what they're going to see, and I want you to see that because I mean, some of you are on on your desktops. First thing you see here is to, make a difference, and there's a donation button here, and there's also, where you can there's the our PO box. But I want you to see what happens when you hit donation. It takes you to our PayPal account, and there's different options here. But let me go back. If you scroll down a bit, we have our thermostat here, and it shows you that, what we have so far. But a small gift has a big impact. Every dollar given to G4N creates a real change. Your support helps children in Guatemala and other nations receive education, care, and hope for the future. $1 equals one Bible book for a child in Guatemala, $10 a month, ongoing impact all year long. Together we can reach more children and make change, and change lives. Join us today. Again, you click on this give button, it takes you to our donation page, and here's where you can choose. This is a one-time donation. So someone can give, $100. That'll be a one-time deal. Someone can give monthly here. So if they put the $10 and then notice that there is a fee here, they can cover the fee, or we just, we'll receive $9.30 out of this every month. Or if they choose to do this, then it'll be added to their donation. So if you notice here in the bottom, it's $10.70 they're donating. They're eating the cost. But either way, they just hit donation. They could either pay through PayPal or they can donate through a debit or a credit card. And then if someone wants to just do a yearly donation, they can do that as well. But this is where the monthly is, and this is where the one-time donations are. Um, I want to show you what it looks like on a phone. This is what, if someone's looking at it on a phone, this is the first thing they see is our donation button as well. They scroll down a bit, and it's pretty simple. I think it's easy to read. I'll take any feedback. Take a look at it. If you suggest something, I'm open to suggestions. I know Rod sent me a couple. I'll take a look at some of those donations where on our webpage it'll have the options of giving. Instead of clicking on this button, it'll just be it already have the options here, monthly, um, or one-time deal, or a monthly or yearly. It'll be on there instead of you having to click on that. But I've also been asked about a presentation video. But on the giving page, we also have Jesse. When Jesse went last year with Rod and Brett, here's a testimony. Jesse's out there with I don't know how many. There might be 100 kids out there. They're all holding books, and then Jesse talks about how a dollar, or I think he talks about cents, 56 cents, something like that, helps a child, and he kind of breaks it down for you. So if you haven't listened to it, you can listen to that. Let me see. It's and then where are we at? I did a short presentation video. This is it right here. This is so you can take it to your church and present it. I could send it to you, to each and every one of you individually. This one currently has my voice as a voiceover, but I can take that off if you want, and then you can actually read it, as it's playing. You can say it, or you can just have people read it if you don't want to have my voiceover. But I just did it as an example. I could still make changes to it, but I wanted you guys to hear it. I think only Jesse and Rod heard it, but take a look at it. It's a less than a minute. Well, actually, it is a minute and 9 seconds. But tell me what you think. Here it is. I'm gonna play it. In Guatemala, thousands of children attend public schools without ever owning a Bible. But when a child receives God's word, everything can change. At Guatemala for the Nations, we partner with Goce Bas, local pastors and teachers, to place Bible books directly into the hands of children in public schools. Through these books, children learn about Jesus, teachers are discipled,
churches are strengthened, communities are transformed. It costs 65 cents to provide a Bible book for one child. $10 a month can reach more than 10 children. Join us in reaching the children to reach the nation. www.g4nations.org.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sec. Let me take this off of this.
Very much, Ponce.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, so quick 1 minute presentation. Last month, I was given the opportunity at church to speak about our ministry, and although I didn't have that video, what I did, I went to. Well, let me share it again. Let me show you what I did, and this is maybe something that you can do. So I went to our webpage, G4. Well, I had the church go to it and put it up on the screens, and we went to this recent post and photos, and they started casting this on their televisions. And as the pictures were going up there, I just started talking about the pictures. Like for example, our team is at the print shop. You know, we're printing 175,000 books, and our team got to see the process. And we scroll down a bit here. You know, here's a praise report. Our partners are delivering 5,000 Bible books to Cesar in the town of Patulul in Guatemala. And here's our one of our partners, Cesar and Jefferson. And then here, another photo of a teacher actually holding one of our books. This is a public school teacher, and she's just expressing the gratitude of just receiving our books. It's such a blessing. Here, Carlos again is pictured with Pastor Joaquin. He took 7,000 books that day. And then here's a quick video of our team doing VBS. And so I just played it just like this, and it's that there is only 26 seconds. But then here, another praise report, our first batch that we received in December. We got 30,000 books that are ready for distribution. And here we see Carlos and House of Blessing. They're receiving the books. And then here are our missionaries that went in December. Here they are. Here's more VBS pictures. And this is Jesse's mom. You know, here we have Susanna, and it just if I mean if Jesse's mom is presenting this, she could people know her, so she'll be saying things like, "Here I am with children." You know, same thing with Susanna, and then they could explain their experience that they had. Obviously, I wasn't there, so I'm just sharing information. But here's the team doing construction work. You know, Jesse could talk about how many trusses they did and what the temperature was like, what they ate, and what their experience was like. You know, so Joseph and the guys, Dwayne, and some more VBS pictures. And I think it's easier for the person that went to talk about this because obviously you were there. You know, you can talk about your experience. You know, but if I scroll all the way down, there's pictures of me, so I was able to talk about some of the trips I went to as well. And so, which made it a lot easier for me to talk about it. But this is all I did. I just scrolled down, and that was my presentation to my church. It just made it super easy with the photos on the website. That's one suggestion I have. Another one is to play the video, or if you want, I could just I could send you a bunch of pictures and you can just send them to the media person and they can play them as you talk, or you can use one of the scripts that Jesse will be providing. But I mean, for me, it's just easier to talk about something I've been to. So it was just I really I didn't need the script. I just winged it and it worked great. And that's all I have for you. If you have any suggestions, I still encourage you to go to the website, go to our give page, and if you see something that somebody, if you have some ideas or something to make it easier, feel free to send me an email. I still need your guys' photos. I still need this. So I only got Yvonne and Rod and myself, and I still need just, your bio.
You got my picture
I got your picture.
and
That's,
my name.
that's all I've got for you guys.
Well, thank you, Ponce.
You're welcome.
That is one of the things that have been on my back burner. It's been there back there so long, it's probably burnt by now. I have my picture, but I need to update my, well, provide a bio at all.
Let me
Not
ask
just
Carlos if he has any.
update.
Carlos, ¿tienes preguntas de lo que presenté?
No, hermano, solo
Okay.
felicitarlo. Buen
Okay,
trabajo.
gracias. He's good.
Okay. And I just want to say, Ponce, thank you for sharing that. And by the way, the other day, I think it was just yesterday or maybe Sunday. Well, that was yesterday. Yeah. So I scrolled, I scrolled through that entire thing with all the pictures that you were just showing us. And so that's wonderful because you have multiple trips, lots of pictures, descriptions. And I think, like you said, that's a great way. It's a simple way, and you don't really even, all the work is really done. You throw it on the screen, you cast
Right.
it, and you just start going through it, and you just start enjoying sharing about it. So
Yes.
thank you for one, putting that together, two, just giving us a quick demonstration of how to use it,
Mhm.
but also even your video with the voiceover, it's pretty powerful. It's very powerful. Just seeing that and presenting some simple truths, touches the heart of. And that's what you did. You captured the heart of what we're doing through the ministry. So
Mhm.
I just want to say, thank you for that. It's
You're
excellent
welcome.
work. And Ponce works behind the scenes. It's kind of like Jessica, Jim. You guys are all, Dr. Sanchez, you're all behind the scenes doing, working away, but it really shines when we have stuff to present, right? And
Mhm.
we can't do it without all those things.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Well, I think at this time, let's go ahead and go to Brother Carlos, and you could share the ministry updates and just whatever new developments you want to share with us, dear brother.
Perfecto. Bueno, Ponzi, ¿me ayudas? Vamos a hacerlo algo rápido para poder avanzar.
Claro que sí.
Bueno, hermano. Buenas noches a todos. Gracias por el esfuerzo que han hecho.
He's good. Hello, everyone, and thank you for all the help, all your efforts.
Yo creo que estamos cumpliendo con el propósito que Dios nos ha puesto.
I think we're doing God's will by what we're doing.
Estamos dando a conocer al Señor Jesucristo a miles y miles de niños.
Jesus is being presented to thousands and thousands of children.
Y yo creo que si hay algo que brilla en esta noche es el poder que Dios tiene para usarnos.
And if we take anything from tonight is that God's name is being glorified and He's using us.
Quiero hablar de algunas cositas que estamos avanzando en los proyectos.
I want to let you guys know about some of the projects that we have going on.
El grupo que estuvo en diciembre con nosotros,
Our December group, California team,
trabajamos con el pastor Samol.
they worked with Pastor Samuel.
Tuve una reunión con él hace una semana
I met
y,
I met with him about a week ago,
y quedó muy agradecido por el trabajo.
and he was so grateful for all the work that you guys put in.
Se está reuniendo un grupo mayor de niños
A group of Right now they have a group of children that are getting together,
y la otra iglesia, que era una iglesia que está muriendo, se sintió muy revitalizada porque estuvo Ivonne con todo el grupo trabajando en la otra iglesia que está cerca.
in the other church you guys went to is a small church, and spiritually he says that they felt that they were dying, like there was no hope anymore. After Yvonne and the VBS team left, he goes, it's like they've gotten new life.
Ah, hace 2 semanas le entregamos 20,000 libros al pastor Samol para el trabajo de distribución en el área.
2 weeks ago, we delivered 20,000 books to Pastor Samuel.
También pudimos llamar a Jesse desde la construcción para mostrarle cómo va el avance.
And then we called Jesse from the construction site where you guys went to kind of give him an update of the progress.
Y el próximo mes tendremos un entrenamiento para discipulado en la iglesia del Pastor Samuel.
And next month we're having a discipleship training for Pastor Samuel and some of the pastors there.
La imprenta, hermano, ahora vamos a hablar un poquito de la imprenta. Ya entregó el 75% de los materiales.
So now moving on to the print shop, right now we've already gotten 75% of all the material.
Con el grupo tuvimos la oportunidad de ir a la imprenta y ver el trabajo de turnos dobles que están haciendo para sacar nuestro material.
In December we were able to take the December team to the print shop to see the work in progress, and there's actually two shifts working on it.
Han estado haciéndonos entregas parciales, pero ya van cubriendo más de 110,000 libros.
Right now they're at about 110,000 books delivered to us.
Y nos están ofreciendo que en menos de 15 días nos terminan todo el pedido.
And right now they're saying that in about 15 days they should be able to complete the entire 175,000 books.
Vamos entregando ya en manos de nuestros distribuidores, de los directores de ministerio, más de 100,000 libros ya.
Right now we've already given about 100,000 books to pastors and teachers.
11 de nuestros directores ya tienen todos el material en la mano.
11 of our pastors already have the actual material in their hands.
Incluso mañana Leo viaja con un pastor, hermano Joaquín,
Mhm.
de Quetzaltenango, para entregarle 20,000 libros que van a ser usados en la parte de la frontera con México.
So tomorrow, Leo is going to go with Pastor Joaquin with 20,000 books to head over to the border of Mexico and Guatemala. And just to give you guys a quick, I know he mentioned 11 pastors. I don't know if our last trip we went to with Rod, myself, yeah, both Rod and myself went in October, I believe, and we met with about 12 pastors. And those pastors that were there, most of them are the ones giving most of these books away. So every pastor represented anywhere from 10 to 25,000 books. So when he talks about 11 pastors, we're talking about over 100,000 books.
Sí. Hermano, ahora vamos a hablar un poquito de los nuevos contactos que tenemos, nuevas aperturas.
Now we're going to switch over and I want to talk to you about some of the new contacts that we've made and some of our new partners that we made.
Hermano, hay una gran oportunidad. Hay 34 escuelas en Ensenada, Baja California, México, que van a empezar a trabajar con nuestro material este año. 34 escuelas.
So we made a new contact, and this person is from Ensenada, Mexico, and they currently work with 34 schools.
Ha sido una gran bendición escuchar eso porque las escuelas de México no dejan entrar el material.
He goes, and this is such a great praise report because schools in Mexico do not allow us to go into public schools and give Bible material.
Pero hubo una supervisora de educación muy valiente y dijo, todos los niños de México necesitan un libro de estos.
But in the city of Ensenada, we were able to talk to the superintendent there, and she's the one that suggested our children in schools need these kind of books.
Y ella encontró una forma de cómo meter el material en la escuela.
And she's the one that found, how do you say, a gray area to be able to get us into these schools.
Y van a empezar a usar nuestro material.
And they're going to start using our material.
Ah, estamos trabajando al norte en un nuevo departamento que se llama Huehuetenango en las montañas.
Now they're working in a new area, North Guatemala, towards the mountain area. I can't
De ahí les
remember.
voy a contar, en un momento les voy a contar una historia que está pasando en Huehuetenango.
And he goes, I'll tell you a little story about what's going on in Huetenaco.
Y tenemos otra puerta abierta entre la etnia cachiquel en Patzún.
But soon, so
Patzún es de la etnia cachiquel.
all right, so he's got another area. So those two different areas. He's got the north side, and then he's got that other part that he just mentioned. So these two new areas where we can start sending out booklets, and these are new. They haven't been touched before.
Hermano, ya entregamos material en la capital, la costa sur, occidente, la frontera con México
Four,
y en el norte.
five. So you mentioned four different areas or zones they call them. Actually five. And he says that these five zones have already got the Bible materials, and some of them were like central Guatemala, north, over by the coast. He mentioned five different zones, and they've already got the Bible books.
Hay algo interesante, hermano, que quiero contarles de Huehuetenango.
So this north area, the mountain area, he goes, there's something interesting I want to talk to you guys about.
Eh, Se recuerda que en la reunión vino un misionero que se llama Ángel Pedro.
Let's see. So during our trip, Rod and I, when we went in October, we met a pastor named Angel. He pretty young guy. I'd say I think he was about 38 years old and real super humble. I mean extremely humble. And he currently has I think something like 8 churches himself.
Y vio una oportunidad con un exfutbolista
Mm.
profesional.
Yes, and Angel we were able to meet him and he's this is barely he's just starting to partner up with Carlos. And we just found out that he had 8 churches. But the interesting part about this north side of Guatemala is that Angel, he knows an ex-professional soccer player.
Él es de la parte del Caribe, él es moreno, él es afroamericano,
He's African American, uh-huh.
pero se casó con una muchacha de las montañas en Huehuetenango.
But he married one of the women from North Guatemala.
Y
That's how he ended up there.
Ángel Pedro le hace el reto de empezar una misión en el lugar.
And Pastor Angel has been trying to say encourage him to start a Bible church or a home church in this northern area.
Y la idea es, ¿y cómo la empezamos?
And so he was like, sure, but how do I get a home church started?
Este exfutbolista está trabajando en una escuela como maestro de educación física.
So this former professional soccer player is currently working in a public school and he knows the principal.
Es una escuela, escuela privada, es un colegio, se llama aquí,
It's
es
a
una
private
escuela
college.
privada.
Mhm.
El dueño, al escuchar que él iba a enseñar Biblia del colegio, de la escuela, le ofreció la escuela para que puedan abrir ahí la misión.
Mm. So when the owner of the private school heard that this um, soccer player was going to bring in Bible books and give them to the children, he offered the ex-soccer player, he told him, you know what, you can borrow our school to open up your church.
Entonces, hermanos, una escuela se convierte en una misión gracias al trabajo con los niños.
He said, so praise the Lord, a church is getting started because of Bible books. So Bible books are being presented to the school is offering them to use their school as a church.
Es una bonita historia cómo Dios usa un ministerio para ayudar a otro ministerio.
He says it's a praise report, it's a beautiful story about how one ministry is helping another ministry and how it opened up doors for each other.
Algunos desafíos que estamos presentando, hermanos.
Mm-hmm. Dilo.
Eh, los desafíos son logísticos, muchos de ellos. El primero, hermano, tenemos que orar mucho por cubrir la demanda de los materiales.
Okay, so you're saying some of our how can I call it some of the things that we need to work on. Number one is lots of prayer for how we're able to or how are we going to be able to to supply the demand. He goes, right now, if we get this Ensenada thing, that's an additional 35 schools we're talking about. So he's that number one, I'm going to ask for prayer to see how we can supply the demand.
La siguiente, hermano, es que las escuelas a veces están muy lejos de la capital y tenemos que estar enviando los materiales.
And the other thing that's difficult for us is that a lot of these schools are they're far away. So we're trying to figure out a way of getting the material to these schools, and obviously it costs a lot of money.
Tenemos
Ship.
desafíos en Cuba. Nuestra hermana Dolores viaja en el mes de marzo para dar el primer entrenamiento y la alianza que tenemos también en el lugar.
Sister Dolores is planning a trip in March to Cuba. She'll be taking some Bible books. So pray for that as well.
Debemos de orar mucho por Cuba, hermano.
And Cuba needs a lot of prayer.
Hoy tuve una reunión con el pastor de Cuba.
He goes, I had a meeting with one of the pastors from Cuba.
Llevaban 48 horas sin energía eléctrica.
They were without power for 48 hours.
No tienen comida, está muy limitada
They have a limited supply of food,
y no hay combustible,
combustible.
y no hay gasolina.
Oh, and yeah, and no gasoline,
Y todo se
no
está
fuel.
formando como un caos,
Hmm.
pero han visto que la iglesia, el ministerio de niños está creciendo. Vamos a tratar de construir un área adicional para poder trabajar con los niños. O sea que hay una bendición espiritual aún en medio del caos.
But in the midst of all this chaos, they're seeing the growth of children being discipled for Jesus. He goes, they have this all this chaos and all these problems, but yet this children's ministry is growing.
También, hermano, tuvimos un desafío que no estaba previsto, por eso es que es un desafío.
Mhm.
Nuestra panel, el motor en el último viaje que fuimos con el pastor, un río se metió en el agua en el motor y fundió el motor. Ya la
Mhm.
reparamos, ya está funcionando, ya mañana va para Shela, Quetzaltenango, pero son imprevistos que a veces no tenemos para cubrir los costos, ¿verdad?
There's another thing that I asked for your prayers is on the last trip, the December trip. If you all remember the van breaking down, because we had to make some major repairs to the engine, and again, these are additional operating costs. So we do ask for prayer for that as well.
Hermano, Cuba y Nicaragua necesitamos seguir orando fuertemente por la apertura y los riesgos que tenemos.
And our prayers for Cuba and Nicaragua, the prayers that I asked for is the prayer we're asking for safety because we are putting our lives in risk by going into those two countries.
Y orar por los nuevos grupos, hermanos, son parte de nuestros desafíos.
And also pray for the groups that are out there handing out the material.
Hermano, también estamos aprendiendo mucho.
We're also learning a lot.
Estamos viendo cómo hacer alianzas con otros nos está ayudando.
We're also learning how to make alliances with others who are doing something similar to what we're doing.
Por ejemplo, el hermano Ángel Pedro y el futbolista en Huehuetenango.
For example, we meeting with Pastor Angel and the ex-professional soccer player.
Ellos pueden crecer grandemente en las montañas.
They they have their own little ministry up in the northern area, and they could potentially grow really big.
Tenemos grandes ventajas que ahí casi no hay presencia de misioneros ni llegan las ayudas. O sea, tenemos una gran oportunidad de trabajo.
Because that's a rural area. That's an area that we've never even touched, he said. So there's a lot of opportunity in that area for them and for our ministry.
Tenemos otra alianza con unos misioneros nuevos que están en Guatemala, que ellos tenían el llamado para trabajar con niños, pero no sabían cómo. Y mañana voy con ellos para inaugurar la primera escuela. Vamos a trabajar con 600 niños, con estos nuevos misioneros.
He says we also met some new missionaries. He goes, and we're creating an alliance with them. He said, so they're working with 600 children. And so tomorrow he's going to go meet with them to meet for the first time with these children. And so we're creating more alliances. We're expanding.
También así como la alianza con esta gente de Ensenada, Baja California, ¿verdad? Como Dios con un contacto abre 34 escuelas.
And he says it's just, we meet somebody and God opens up doors. And an example would be we met a pastor who happens to know someone else in Baja, Mexico, who knows somebody that can get us into 34 schools in Ensenada.
Y hermano, yo le he mandado ahí los videitos de los payasitos en Cuba. Eh, Hemos estado fortaleciendo la relación porque queremos que ellos representen el ministerio de niños en Cuba. Entonces también hemos estado aprendiendo de ellos, pero orar también por ese ministerio.
He said there's also another ministry in Cuba. There is a couple who they dress themselves like children clowns, and they present the gospel in um, in a dramatic form. So they dramatize it instead of having books. They actually play it out, and he said so when him and Carlos they're starting to create an alliance, and they're seeing the Bible books, and now they're starting to act it out for the children. He said so pray for them as well. This is in Cuba,
Algo interesante es que Cuba, por supuesto, no quiere iglesias cristianas en las escuelas,
and knowing that Cuba doesn't allow Christians in or Christian churches in schools.
pero los payasitos sí pueden entrar
But they do allow the couple that dresses up like clowns, they allow them to go into the schools
y ellos están enseñando valores en las escuelas.
and they teach biblical morals and
Pues
teachings.
hermanos, estamos haciendo muchos esfuerzos para las entregas,
And so we're doing a lot of effort to get these books out,
estamos ayudando a otros ministerios a trabajar con niños,
and we're helping a lot of people work with children,
estamos trabajando también en cuidar nuestros recursos.
and we're also working on having doing our teachings and how to disciple others.
Y eso lo logramos fortaleciendo también las alianzas con otros.
And this is possible because we're making alliances with others that already have ministries.
También, hermano, ya nos estamos preparando para los materiales del 2027.
And we're already starting to plan out and think about the materials for 2027.
Ya estamos trabajando en la edición de todo el material.
So we're already coming up with thoughts and ideas for the material.
Son parte de nuestras prioridades del próximo año.
So this is a priority for next year.
También, hermano, como prioridad tenemos la expansión del ministerio.
And another priority is for us, how are we going to expand the ministry? Thinking of ways to expand the ministry.
Solo ahora ya estamos pensando en Cuba, en Ensenada, en Huetenango, Patzún, el lago, región del lago.
So you mentioned all these different areas that haven't been touched, and so these are 5 new areas that he would like to uh, to possibly go to next year.
Y hermanos, necesito que estemos orando también por el liderazgo local e internacional.
And also pray for the leaders here in Guatemala.
Guatemala para las naciones y gozo y paz, hermano, está sembrando el discipulado entre miles y miles de niños en diferentes países, pero necesitamos de toda esta gente que colabore también con nosotros.
He goes, yeah, we're doing, G4N and Ghost and Paz, and all of us are doing great work of handing out materials. He goes, but we need prayer for our leaders in our country as well.
Y como ustedes bien saben, toda la gente que colabora con nosotros no reciben ninguna ayuda.
And also pray for those that all our volunteers who help us out. As you know, we have a lot of volunteers who take out the material and they receive no pay. They're volunteers.
Pero, hermanos, estoy recibiendo llamada tras llamada de los materiales, de ilusionados, de querer que las escuelas ya empiecen. Le mandé una, hermano, de las fotos donde el futbolista ya está
Mhm.
pintando las lecciones, ya está dando las lecciones para este año.
Mhm.
Oh. Hmm.
He said,
Mhm.
and even though they're volunteers, he goes, I'm getting calls for more material. Like they're so eager to want to work. They're so eager to want to help. He said, and in the northern area, the ex soccer player, he sent me, Carlos sent me some photos, which I'll post soon, of them already with the material, already presented to the school, and he's already coloring with the children.
Hermanos, solamente orar por nuestros ministerios,
So keep us in prayer, please,
oren por los directores que nos ayuden a distribuir el ministerio,
and pray for for the schools and the
por la
teachers,
logística y por las autoridades.
and for the logistics and for the authorities that we're allowed to present the material.
Y también, hermanos, por cómo conseguimos los recursos, ¿verdad?
And then also, of course, for ways of income coming in.
Y orar por los nuevos lugares también que estamos
And also pray for these
trabajando.
new areas that we're going into.
Pues esto es lo que Dios está haciendo, hermanos, ahorita y que el Señor nos siga ayudando para poder hacer más, ¿verdad?
And so this quick update of what God's doing in Guatemala, and may the Lord continue to go before us.
And
Pero
Ponce,
estamos
please
muy agradecidos con cada uno de
a
ustedes.
quick update on Jonathan
El
in
hermano Jonathan,
prison.
¿has oído algo de él?
No, hermano, hemos tratado de
Yes, no.
averiguar, pero no hay ni forma. Yo quería llamarlo, pero me dijeron que ni siquiera lo intentara porque yo no iba a poder entrar al país.
He says that he's tried to make contact. He has no way of making contact with them anymore, with him. And every time he tries to ask about him, no one wants to talk about that.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Keep praying.
Seguimos orando, hermano.
Pero gracias, hermano, y gracias por el tiempo.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Carlos, for that update. It's interesting as Carlos was speaking about um, how the couple that dress up as clowns had access to the schools in Cuba. It reminded me of my very first mission trip that I took to Latvia and to Russia. And there was a lady named Mrs. Shatswell. I forget her first name, but she was a balloonologist, and she could blow up the balloon and make any kind of animal, right? Or sword or anything, right? So she would do balloons and give them to kids like on the metro or at the bus station or anywhere on the sidewalk. And then she could give them a tract in their language. And she also knew some magic tricks. So she would anywhere she go, she would immediately could engage the children and then talk with their parents, but all engage them. So God works in ways that sometimes we it's not that we discount them, but we forget what can open up the heart to somebody, right? Something simple that the Lord can use.
Yeah. Carlos dice que la historia que dijiste de los payasitos, cuando Jesse la primera vez que fue a una misión fue en Rusia. Y dice que ahí estaba una señora que era profesional ella haciendo globos,
Mm.
animalitos con los globos. Y que cualquier parte que ella iba, sacaba sus globos y hacía los animalitos y les daba un folleto de Biblia. Y todos los niños se les acercaban. Y dice, Dios la usaba con eso. Y también hacía unos truquitos de magia o lo que sea, pero eso era su ministerio de ella. Y él lo que está mirando con lo que está pasando también en Cuba con los payasos.
Amén.
Yeah, and she had traveled the world to
Wow.
she was a missionary to I don't even know how many countries, and that's what she told us. So it just reminded me. She said, "You guys need to become balloonologists or
Y
whatever the equivalent is, right?"
yeah.
And the other thing, and that was in 94 when I went on that trip, and then also we did pantomime, so we acted out the gospel, and so it's some of these things as we're even with Carlos talking about that just reminds me, these things open up the doors, drama, music, even, magic tricks, balloons. And even with Sister Dolores, she had good little visual aids. Remember, how to present the gospel with colors and so all these things, tools that we can learn. Like it doesn't take, all it takes is a small investment of saying I could do that, right? We don't have to be the best, but we can do that.
Dice que también ella iba de país a país haciendo los globos y que les dijo, ustedes debieran de aprender a hacer globos para tratar de agarrar más para los niños, pues.
Yeah.
Y es un don que Dios puede usar. Cualquier persona lo usa, pero dice, hay que ver aprender a hacer algo de eso para tratar de, de darles a los niños, pues.
Yes, man.
It's a good reminder. Sometimes that we're really good at complicating things, and we're really good at making things seem impossible or difficult. And
Ujú.
then someone does something as simple as they dress up like a clown, and then the teacher's like, I would never let Christian missionaries in here, but oh, you're clowns? You have
Mhm.
all access,
Ya.
right? So God
Dice
works
que,
in mysterious ways.
que a veces nosotros complicamos las cosas, pero algo sencillos que es Dios puede usar. Dice, a veces las escuelas dicen, no, no, yo no quiero nada de cristiano aquí, pero dejan a los que hacen globos entrar, dejan a los payasitos entrar. Dice, y a veces nos queremos complicar muchas cosas. Hay que hacerlo sencillo.
Well, brothers and sisters, just before we close, if anyone else has just a moment here, any other thoughts you want to share, or maybe something that the Lord put on your heart, or a question before we sign off, um, go ahead and ask that now, or share if you have something.
Well, if I may say so, it'll be good for us to continue to pray for Carlos. It is obvious that the Lord is opening many doors, and as busy as he is, he finds time to meet with people and to train them. And it's been my privilege to work with him as he is developing the materials. He checks with me once to make sure that everything is biblically correct in what they're doing. But he has also been able to enlist other people with the drawings and the other aspects of the books. So I think that the Lord has brought together a very good team, and the agreement he has with the people at the print shop is a very good one. Because I was asking him, I was saying it is possible that you might get these books printed for less in a place like India. And he said, possibly so. He said, but what about the paper? And he says, I buy the paper very inexpensively, and then they keep it at the print shop that's air conditioned. And he says, by keeping it there, then the paper is good to go when it comes to printing. And so, just for your information, he has looked into every possibility in terms of the best way to print these books. And I think he has a very good team that he works with, and they're willing to provide books in advance, you know. And so I think he has a very good team to work with there. So just a word of commendation for what Carlos is doing and the way that he is touching base with all of us and keeping us informed of what the Lord is doing. There came a point, you know, after Brother Ted Linwell went with the Lord, that our main purpose was just to keep the ministry going, you know. But it's amazing now that the ministry is growing. a lot, even into other countries. And I think this is a good confirmation on the part of the Lord, and certainly an affirmation of our team and what we're doing together to keep this going. And it's just amazing to think the number of students that are getting to hear the gospel in so many different countries. So thank you for letting me share this with you, because I converse with Carlos from time to time, and he's able to share with me what is going on. But I've become convinced that he has an excellent agreement with the people there at the print shop locally, and is doing the very best to get the materials available, and not only at the best time, but also then for them to be ready when it's time to get them going. So just a word of appreciation for Brother Carlos and then for our team.
Thank you, Dr. Sanchez.
Hermano Carlos solamente anda diciendo que mucha oración para ti porque por todo lo que haces, tienes un buen equipo, todo lo que haces con la impresión, que a veces, una vez dijo él que tal vez hay que ir a India, pero con lo que estás trabajando tú ya tienes un buen equipo, te dan buen precio, le están explicando a ellos que tienes, el equipo que tienes ya está estable, ellos hacen mucho por ti también, te ayudan, hacen impresiones antes de que pagues, am, y que también empezando con el material, tú se lo enseñas al doctor Sánchez, él lo mira para para que vean que todo es bíblico. So, muchas gracias por lo que haces y que sigamos orando mucho por ti.
Hermano, yo quería también agradecerle a Jessica por su esfuerzo con las cuentas de banco.
Mhm.
Eh, Agradecerle el envío de los cheques. Eh, Estamos trabajando cheque por cheque, eh, porque las leyes tenemos que tener cuidado en cómo mandamos, cómo enviamos el dinero, pero agradecerle los cheques, y precisamente hoy depositamos otro y nos falta uno o dos, pero muy agradecido por el envío de los fondos.
Jessica, he just wants to thank you for all the work that you've done, transferring the funds and doing the wires at first and then sending over the checks. And he just wants to let you know that he still has some of the checks. He doesn't cash them all immediately, just as he needs. He ends up cashing them. He thinks he has a couple left, but he just wanted to say thank you for all the work that you've done in that.
Y nos ahorramos más de $2,000 en transferencias, hermano.
It was just by sending the checks. I think we saved something. We saved about $2,000 in fees.
Yeah. Well, and
Jessica.
I'm thankful to the Lord that Customs and Immigration didn't take me in a room when I had over $40,000 worth of checks in my pocket.
Oh,
But they asked me if I had cash, and I said no. I have checkings. I have no cash.
Locked up abroad.
Yeah,
Necesitábamos un ministerio en la cárcel, hermano.
I could have worked.
He says you could start a prison ministry there.
Yeah, I could probably master Spanish if I spent enough time in the prison.
Jesse, may I say a quick word about the checks?
Absolutely, Rod.
So what Carlos is explaining, when Jessica sent the first $9,000 check, and Carlos has asked us not to send any more than that amount at one time, the first check cost about $450 in fees at the bank down in Guatemala. So for the remaining monies that we'd raised last year, Jesse and the team took it in physically in increments of $9,000 checks. So there's still a few that haven't been cashed. We are going to be working to put Carlos on our accounts. We will inform and email everybody what that process is, but there will be the clear conditions that Carlos will only withdraw at the direction of the board and of the finance treasurer and finance team. As to a finance team, we don't have one yet, but Jessica has recommended until such a team is formed, and that could be even outside experts that Jessica will recruit. That would be people giving oversight fiscally to all the monies and how we handle them. But until that time, Jessica has recommended the vice president, chair, Jim. Jim and Ponce are on the as co-signers already, and then myself, that we would just meet as needed to discuss whatever fiscal policies we want to practice. So, and adding Carlos onto our accounts, whenever we set that up and you approve that action, then it will allow him to withdraw monies out of the accounts at the direction of the basically the board through the finance treasurer, and there'll not be fees anymore incurred once he's able to be arranged that way with us. But that will require him coming to Texas physically to go into the banks with Jim and Ponce or Jessica or however it has to be done at Chase Banks physically for that to be worked out. So I just wanted to explain that and share that. And one other thing, Ponce, if you could share, if that shouldn't happen before March, um, we can send a check down with the Columbus Avenue Baptist Church if they are coming down in March. That's their plan. If everything is safe to go, I met with the minister there Wednesday, and there were alerts about Americans traveling, but they're trying to come in. And if that's the case, we can send a check with David Villarreal and his team. I got to meet with Dr. Sanchez on Wednesday over at Waco. So
Good.
just want to explain to everybody what we're looking at trying to do it going forward. And Ponce, if you would just interpret maybe whatever highlights to that to Carlos.
Sí, hermano Carlos dice que si no puedes venir en febrero o marzo, lo que sea, que él tiene un, un van a ir unos amigos para Guatemala que también tienen un ministerio allá y que pueden mandar cheques, lo que sea, para que te los manden para allá con ellos si no vienes tú en febrero o en marzo.
Perfecto, hermano. Gracias. Sí, eso nos ayuda y eliminamos los fees, ¿verdad? Que es muy alto. Pero gracias.
Pero sí planeas venir en febrero.
Sí, hermano, con lo que habíamos platicado usted la fecha, estoy
Okay.
buscando ya el boleto y todo, yo le confirmo a usted.
Okay, bro Rod, yeah, he still plans on making a trip to the States.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. February.
All right. Well, very good. I just want to say it's an honor to co-labor with each and every one of you. So
Amen.
I really appreciate each and every one of you, your contributions and what you bring to this team. So with that being said, let's go ahead and proceed to our close. And if I could ask Amy if you would close us in prayer, and then Brother Jim, if you would also pray after Amy.
Hopefully the little barky doggies here will stay quiet for a
That's
moment.
okay.
They've had trouble with that this meeting. God, thank you for letting us travel